What's up, Lions Nation? Welcome to the We Are Lions Nation podcast live. Yes, it is Monday night, our new night, Monday night. Welcome to the show. We are coming to you live, the post game show tonight. I got myself, my man Logan Erickson, and Mr. Mike Birch joining me as always. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Difficult loss on Sunday or yesterday. I forget, it was just yesterday. But yeah, kind of still bummed out.
Yeah, I think they played a good game, but yeah, definitely a difficult loss there. Hate to see that, but
Yeah, it was for sure. I actually haven't felt as disappointed as I felt on Sunday after that game. It just I don't know. I just let it hit me pretty hard, but it was pretty. I was pretty bummed out, because they played really hard. Definitely some good things to talk about tonight as far as the game goes. Yeah, so we're gonna just get right into it. We have the breakdown coming up for you guys. Then we will, talk about the game, the stats, things like that. Then we will give our in the zone players, and we look forward to hearing the fight song from Mr. Logan Erickson, and then we will cap it off with our final toast. All that coming up tonight. Of course, a lot to talk about as far as Sunday goes. Big game against the Packers. Lions end up losing it 31-24 in a good fashion. I think that obviously there were still some things that could have went a little better, but overall, this was a different Lions team that played Green Bay compared to the first go around. I can say that much about it anyway. So let's go ahead and get into it. The breakdown. But before we do, I just want to remind everybody there is a button. It's called subscribe. Make sure you are clicking on that subscribe button and subscribing to the We Are Lions Nation podcast YouTube channel. Also, make sure you click that notification bell so you know when all the freshest episodes are available to you as soon as they're available. And make sure you like as well and share and let everybody know about us. We are out there, we are real, and we are for real. This is straight, like Logan likes to say, this is the only podcast where it's just straight like bar talk in here. So we like to have fun. We like to just go with the flow, and that's what we're all about. So we are glad that for all of you that are following us, we appreciate that. And for all of you that aren't, please do, because you are missing out on a good thing.
yeah, and it's free to do. Please follow.
All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, absolutely free, free, free. There's a headline out there that I think sums this game up this past Sunday. It said, Matthew Stafford shines, but the defense cannot do its part. I mean, did Matthew Stafford completely shine? Maybe not, but I agree with that headline because I feel like once again the defense just could not keep up with the Packers offense as far as I think our defensive back and linebackers could not keep up with that offensive attack from Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay was toying with us all game long on offense, doing whatever they wanted to do to our defense, and we couldn't stop them even if we knew what was coming to us. We couldn't stop it.
No.
Well, I will say too, you got to blame the offensive line too, with all those sacks in the first half of the game. I mean that probably got into his head and didn't give him as much confidence, and definitely affected his gameplay. I'm sure.
Yeah, and we'll get into we'll definitely we're gonna break all that down. Want to talk about the injury report, mainly the big injury. Matthew Stafford, he got crunched up pretty good there in the fourth quarter, holding his ribs. Ian Rappaport reported that Matthew Stafford was in a lot of pain. That was the latest update until a couple hours ago when Darrell Bevell had these comments to say about Matthew Stafford. He said, you guys know how tough Matthew is. He said, this will be a deal where we take it to the end of the week. He said the x-rays were negative, so nothing broke on Matthew Stafford's ribs. He said he's better this afternoon than he was this morning, and So we will see how it goes and how he progresses. So
Well,
not a lot of rumors going around today. Matthew Stafford could be out next week and all that, but from what Bevel's saying, it sounds like Matthew's already getting better.
yeah, I just hope that he doesn't rush himself back and put himself into a bigger predicament with an injury that could be serious. If you got bruised ribs, I don't know if anybody's ever gotten bruised ribs on the show here. I felt them. It's not pleasant. It's not the best feeling in the world, especially if you got to sling the ball all game long. It's not going to feel good on your ribs, especially with that twisting motion of your hips.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about it. That's a whole quarterback's play is being able to twist and move that body in that way. So at least the x-rays were negative. Maybe he can double, bandage that up a little bit, pad it up some more, if he does play. Obviously, we've got a whole week to go before we know for sure what Matthew's status is. I agree with you, Logan. I think if he's still in a lot of pain, there's no point of playing. Chase Daniel did great when he came in. He played pretty well. So I don't think we'd be losing too much. It's but at least it's somebody that's decent coming in there. It would be nice to have Stafford in there, but at least it's not super bad news like I thought it was going to be. Mike, what are your thoughts on that update from Darrell Bevel?
Well, I mean, it sounds pretty positive. I think we may just see him play this weekend. I'm not sure. I agree with Logan. I think that take your time and get better. Don't rush yourself out there. And hopefully I'm confident they'll make the right decision. And I think that if Daniel ends up playing for us, that he'll get some good coaching this week and some good experience, and he'll do a good job for us.
Well, you got to remember too that Matthew Stafford is not one that if he can play, he's not going to sit out. If he thinks he can play, he will play. We've seen it before. He'll do it if he can. If he thinks he can, he will.
We've seen it before too with the whole glove. You remember the glove season? There's no reason he should have been playing.
No.
He couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't grip the ball. But yeah, he was still out there playing because he wants to play. That's the problem I have with it. If you're not able to perform at your highest level, then sit your butt on the bench, take a day off. That's just how I feel.
I mean, you gotta love the heart, but
I agree with it, Logan. I agree with what you're saying 100%. I mean, in no way, shape, or form do I want to see Matthew Stafford miss the game, but I agree with you. He should be 100% if he's going to play, and feel good about playing. Not just don't ignore it, because it could get worse. So make sure it's worth it. Obviously, Darrell Bevel's probably going to, keep an eye on the situation. I think he'll do a better job of managing the situation than Fatty P did. So that we will keep you guys updated on that situation. When we get updates, we'll probably know more. Thursday night for the pregame show, we'll definitely have an update on Matthew Stafford for you guys. That's basically the big injury that I wanted to cover as far as the game goes. Did you guys recall anybody else that went out in that game that you want to mention?
Well, Jeff Okudah went out with the groin. So was replaced on injured reserve Monday. Let's see. Darrell Roberts forced out of Sunday's game against the Packers due to a hip injury.
Yeah, that's right. Roberts did go out too Sunday as well. He's been having trouble with injuries the whole season pretty much. So, yeah, Okudah actually I think he had surgery or it's scheduled for today. I know it's coming up like any time he's having surgery on that.
Yeah, he had season-ending surgery. So,
Well, Logan, what do you got, my man? What do you got for the stats on that game?
All right, so Detroit, Green Bay, they're kind of even on first downs. Detroit had 27 first downs. Green Bay 26. For rushing, 15 rushes for Detroit, 51 yards. Green Bay 31 rushes, 120 yards. Time of possession. This was a big key factor to Green Bay's win in this game. Time of possession for Green Bay was 35 and a half minutes. Detroit, 24 and a half. Almost an 11-minute difference. That makes a huge difference in a game for anybody that's ever played the game. When you're out on the field, you don't get a break. You get worn down real fast. And then the offense comes out, only gets 3 plays, and then right back on defense again. It's really hard to defend anybody when you're out on the field. You're exhausted. You feel like you can't breathe. You feel like your whole body's aching. It's tough on a defense. Passing yards, Green Bay got us in that category, 290 to 242. And then penalties. You brought up penalties earlier. Detroit had 4 penalties for 30 yards. Green Bay, surprisingly, 12 penalties, 68 yards. But the refs did screw us on a Marvin Jones catch. He had both feet down, both hands on the ball in control. That should have been a catch. Miles Killebrew had the onside kick past 10 yards, inbounds. It should have been our ball. We should have had a chance to tie that game. But you can't change the past, so this ends up being a loss for Detroit. Hopefully we can learn from this game and move on.
Yeah, another stat that I want to bring up is the score breakdown, because I found it interesting today when I looked at it. Sometimes you don't catch it when you're watching the game, but just listen to this. First quarter, Green Bay 7 points, Detroit 7 points. Second quarter, Green Bay 7 points, Detroit 7 points. Third quarter, Green Bay 7 points, Detroit nothing. Fourth quarter, Green Bay 10 points, Detroit 10 points. So basically, the entire game, except for the third quarter, the Lions kept pace with the Packers the entire game, all the way except for the third quarter. And I believe that, Logan, is where you talked about the time of possession. I think the Packers pretty much had the ball that entire third quarter. The Packers had the ball.
We had the ball for 1 minute and 20 seconds in the third quarter, and then they still controlled the ball for another 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. They only had the ball on one possession and killed all of the third quarter, basically, and 3 minutes of the fourth quarter off one possession.
So let's take that into perspective. You got 7-7, 7-7, 7-0, 10-10. Every quarter, the Lions played equally to the Packers, except for that third quarter. So that brings up the question, what in the world happened in the third quarter?
Well, what happened was Green Bay came out and coached the game properly and knew that if they kept Stafford on the sideline, like I was hoping they would do to Aaron Rodgers, they kept Stafford on the sideline and it mentally messed with him.
Yeah, there was a point. I remember I messaged you while we were watching the game and said something about the Lions were managing the clock very well. Maybe that was in the second quarter that I'm thinking of, but I don't know if you recall that moment in the game, but they did a great job. They controlled almost that entire quarter and went down the field and really controlled the clock. So I guess the entire game, if you're equal to one team, the entire game, what makes that one quarter so different? Like, why couldn't the defense get the Packers off the field, or get the offense to have equal time like they did in all the other quarters? Like, what happened in that third quarter? I think that third quarter is where the Lions lost the football game.
Well, if you remember when Green Bay came out in the third quarter, they drove down and scored. They drove down right down the field, scored on us. We got the ball back, quick 3 and out.
Yep.
And then Green Bay got the ball back and said, you know what? We got a lead now. We're going to milk this clock, make Stafford frustrated on the sideline. So when he comes back in, he's not going to be the same Matt Stafford. And that was their game plan. Their game plan was to keep Stafford off the field. They knew Stafford could score in 14 seconds. He's already done it this year. They don't want to have him on the field as much as possible. And they played that game plan out very good.
Well, Mike, what are you thinking on that?
Yeah, I mean, the Packers dominating the time in the third quarter is really the key to it. I think they had the ball all that time, and they didn't. The Lions didn't have a chance, and I think it did frustrate. And I think that on top of the sacks from the first half, just
You could see it. You could see it on the sidelines with Matthew Stafford. You could tell, that he was ready to go, but the defense just could not get the Packers off the field at all, especially in that third quarter. They just could not get the Packers off the field. No pressure. We talked about this in the meeting. The Packers could do whatever they wanted. And I knew it was going to be tough. I knew Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers was going to be super tough to stop. And then you got Aaron Jones on the top of that. It was just but I hate it because if you watch the game in an overall and you compare it to Matt Patricia in his game against Green Bay, there was still a lot of good in that game Sunday. It was way more competitive. I felt like the Lions were in it for the most part for the entire game, except maybe that third quarter where the defense was just getting wore out because they couldn't get the Packers off the field. Other than that, it was a different game, and I think they played way better than they did the first time.
Yeah, I agree with that. They played better than the first time. And
they hung in there enough to where they had a chance at the end to make it happen if some things would have went the right direction. Let's bring them up right now. Two big key moments in that game. The first one, Marvin Jones with that amazing catch. What was that? The 1 yard line?
Yeah.
That the referees called. There was no evidence that was a catch, and they couldn't overturn it. I think that was BS. You can clearly see from every photo, every angle, Marvin Jones was clearly inbounds when he caught that ball, had possession with both feet in. And then you even could tell there's been reports that some of the refs were saying it was a catch, that Marvin Jones did catch it. So that would have put us at the 1 yard line with a perfect opportunity to score.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely looked like a catch to me. I don't see how they called that not a catch.
Don Faze just said, "We're the best channel, growing faster than him." That's my youngest son, if I want to remind everyone. It's my youngest son.
Thank you, buddy, for all the support. But you know what? I'm sure your dad's proud of you because your channel is probably doing fantastic too. So kudos to you and your awesome channel. And we're going to make sure that we check it out for you. And thank you for always being a part of our show.
Yep, yes, thank you.
Well, so we all agree that was a catch. What could that have done? Let's say that was a catch. What do you think that does for the game at that point? And I know it's a what if, but I'm only bringing it up because that should have been a catch, without a doubt. So, Logan, what do you think? It should have been a catch. If it would have been called a catch, what do you think happens at that point? Does that change the game?
Maybe. It's hard to say because it was still at the end of the game there. You might have given yourself an extra minute. Maybe the 2-minute warning on top of it could have helped out a little bit there. We wouldn't have had to rely on an onside kick. We could have kicked it off, stopped Green Bay possibly 3 times in a row. But Green Bay's had our number all game long. So to count on our defense stopping them and getting a 3 and out and giving us the ball back, that's the hard part to wrap my head around because it's like and you look at that and you're like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think that would, definitely would have led to a touchdown, which would have at the very least tied the game, and it definitely could have changed the outcome, in my opinion. It's just
now, that's what my thoughts are too. You get to the 1 yard line, it's likely that either Swift or Peterson could have pounded that ball in. which
If that
puts
would have
us
went
right,
in their
right there.
favor, they would.
And then I want to talk about the other big moment is the onside kick that I feel was recovered by Killebrew very nicely. He did his job. He kept his feet in bounds. The ball bounced up in the air, did not go out of bounds. When it bounced, it was still in the field. Killebrew caught it with both feet in, and they said that we did not get that onside recovery. So there again is another possible game-changing moment that was not called the Lions' way that clearly, at least in my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes, should have gone a different direction. Mike, what are your thoughts on that onside kick?
Well, I agree with you. I think it should have went in the Lions' favor, and it just seems like those.
Mike, you got me?
Yeah, I've got you there. Can you hear me?
I can hear him.
Yeah, I was just saying that it should have definitely made a difference. I think that those bum calls happen far too often for the Lions and far too often against Green Bay, it seems.
Yeah, it seems there's always controversial calls in every Green Bay game, it seems like.
Yeah, it does. It sure does.
No, well, that's what a lot of people are saying is that every time we play Green Bay, there's always some kind of controversy in that call. Mike, I didn't get a chance to catch what you said on that onside kick. What did you think of that?
Oh, I just said that I agree with you. I thought that it should have went for the Lions, and I was saying that those unfortunate calls like that seem to happen all too often to the Lions, and especially when they're playing Green Bay.
Yeah. But you know what? My thoughts on it, the Lions were there pretty much the entire game, so I think those calls did play a role, regardless of what a lot of people may think. I think those calls played a role. It wasn't like the Lions were way behind, and we as fans are just looking for an excuse. We're not, because they were right there, and those were key, crucial moments that should have went the Lions' way that didn't, in my eye.
Yep, without a doubt.
So what does this mean for Matthew Stafford? A lot of people saying right now today, the big thing, social media blast is that Matthew Stafford's done in Detroit. He's done. He got hurt. That's the last time we'll ever see him play in a Lions uniform on Sunday for the Lions. That's the big thing going around right now. Logan, agree or disagree?
I'd have to agree to disagree on this one. I do not think Stafford's going to be gone at the end of this year. I think his future with the Lions is going to be a short-lived one for the next couple of years, I'd say. And I believe that we draft a quarterback this year in the draft.
So you think they're going to be going for somebody to put behind Stafford for the future?
Yep.
Look, we know Stafford's not going to last forever. We know that. But I agree with you, Logan. There's no way he's done after this year. There's no way. There's no way. Just, and that's kind of where I posted on social media today a post about the fan base and the negativity. That's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the fact that people are so negative. Matthew Stafford gets hurt, and right away everybody's like, oh, time to draft this person. Stafford's done in Detroit. Everybody just says all this trash. And I'm like, that's not going to, I don't believe it. It's not going to happen. If it does, I'll be very disappointed, because I think you got to give Stafford that chance with the right people around him to make that one run before he goes. You know what I mean? Give him that one good year before he goes.
So that just brings up a question in my mind too, though. Just thinking about this. So if I'm picking up what you're laying down, you're telling me that Chase Daniel's not the next guy.
No. I think he's a good backup, but I don't think he's going to be stepping up to be the starter or anything like that.
I think he's a lifetime backup. You got to draft somebody young, somebody you can groom, somebody you can teach your way of doing things. and have him learn under Stafford, a veteran that's been through it all. So that's what I think. I also think you need a championship coach. And maybe Bevel's not the answer at head coach, but I definitely think you retain him as an offensive coordinator. You bring in somebody, I hate to say it, Jim Harbaugh. The guy knows how to coach in the NFL. His record speaks for itself. He turned around a struggling San Francisco 49ers team, had the same struggles as we did, had all the talent in the world, but couldn't put it together a winning team. That's what we have. We have all the talent in the world on our team. We just can't win. And I think if Jim Harbaugh comes in, Michigan man, close friends of Sheila Hampton Ford, I think he comes in and he takes over and he turns us around real quick.
So you are now that was going to be my next topic of discussion, was the fact that everybody's saying because of that loss that Darrell Bevell is done. Like his run for head coach is just done now. There's no chance. I don't see that. I don't see that yet. I don't agree though. Not you.
Well,
I'm not on the Jim Harbaugh bandwagon with you, buddy. I can't do that.
This is how I'm saying it. Is that the new GM is going to want their own coach. They're not going to want a coach from an old regime. They're going to come in, they're going to want their own coach. If it's any GM that's listed that they're saying right now, they're going to want their own guy. And I guarantee Jim Harbaugh is at the top of that list, whether anybody likes it or not. That dude is at the top of the list. He's struggling at Michigan. His restart in college is not working out the way he wanted to. And I think he wishes he never left the NFL. He turned around a team very similar to the Lions, except for the fact San Francisco's won Super Bowls in the past. But their team was struggling when Jim Harbaugh came in there. And Harbaugh came in, turned that team around, made NFC championships, made the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, Jim Harbaugh is the number one target for coaching.
Well, I've seen that a lot too, and I guess I get your point. I do remember what he did in San Francisco. So yeah, maybe Harbaugh is just meant to be an NFL coach. Maybe he can come in, and I'm not going to disagree totally with what you're saying, because maybe it will be what they need. And I get now too what you're saying about Bevell staying on as offensive coordinator. I think that would be a good option. Just the way that Bevell has turned around the offense in just the last couple games, the offense opened up more. They're more explosive. That's the kind of offense that we need to see, and I think Bevell will keep that. But the question I have, you bring in Jim Harbaugh, he's going to want a different quarterback.
No. Why?
Look at the style of quarterbacks that he's had.
But why?
They're not Matthew Stafford style quarterbacks.
Colin Kaepernick under Harbaugh was a pocket passer. He ran on occasions, and Stafford can fill in that role. He's run, he can scramble, and Stafford's got a hell of an arm. He's very talented. Why you want to come into a team, get rid of a Hall of Fame quarterback possibly?
That's what everybody's saying.
Joe Schmo out of college that doesn't know shit from nothing.
But that's where you got to think. That is where every single fan out there right now, that's where they're at. They're at right now, when they have been since the middle of the season. This is the point that I'm getting to, and this is why I'm trying to reach out to people on social media and let them know that what you're saying is ridiculous. Not you, Logan, them. There's no reason that we should be even considering trying to draft some hotshot quarterback right now when we don't need him. We have an elite. It's been said by many, many pro Hall of Fame players, former players, Matthew Stafford is an elite quarterback, and I wish people would get that in their head.
All right, listen. Jim Harbaugh took a Colin Kaepernick, okay, Probably has
Yep.
half the arm talent that Stafford has. Maybe not even that. And turn him into a Super Bowl quarterback.
I like it. I like what you're bringing.
Stafford has the talent, has the arm talent, way better than Kaepernick. He just needs to be kind of adjusted here, adjusted there. Who better to do that than a former NFL quarterback who also played for the Lions in Jim Harbaugh? Michigan man comes back to his home team, brings in some other people. Maybe he brings in Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator. Ties with San Francisco.
I definitely think Underlin has to go. That's for sure. He's just not working out.
Everybody's thinking about Saleh as a head coach for the Lions. Why not a defense coordinator?
Well, when Saleh was asked about it, he didn't seem too thrilled about the thought of being the head coach for the Lions. Not really. If you watch his press conference, he didn't seem too excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where my mind was at with Undlin too. You know, we've been talking about everybody but him, it seems like, and you know, the defense definitely didn't serve well against the Packers, and I think it's time to start looking at a defensive coordinator.
I think that's the biggest, besides the head coach. I think the defensive coordinator is the biggest spot we need to change, and then we need to take all those linebackers and most of the cornerback and just throw them out.
This is my coaching dream team. Harbaugh is head coach, right? Darrell Bevell is offensive coordinator, and Robert Saleh out of San Francisco, defensive coordinator. He can come back to his home team and coach the defense.
I seen something very similar to that today, but they had also had Chris Spielman in there as like head of the players. I can't think of the actual, not GM, but a personnel or something.
Director of player personnel.
Yeah, perfect. Yep. I like that thought. I think the more that we talk about it, the more that I'm understanding how much Harbaugh could be a factor. I think I was letting the college aspect, overtake what the NFL part of it. But maybe he is better suited for the NFL, like you said. But we're losing games because we're too slow on defense. Our linebackers are slow. They can't cover anybody. The defensive back can't keep up with any receivers. That's where we're getting beat. I'm sorry to say it, but even on games where we can stop the run, we're still getting beat in the pass every time. And I don't think Underlin's cutting it, and I don't think the defensive backs are cutting it either. We need to make an overhaul on that spot for sure.
Well, it doesn't help when our defensive backs have been banged up all year long, okay? We've had defensive players banged up all year long. You think about the list goes on. Penasini, he got banged up in this last game a little bit. I thought he was going to go out. Who's the other defense? Danny Shelton. Danny Shelton's out. Big run stopper. When he was in the middle with Penasini, we were stopping everybody in the run game.
You got to think of it.
Desmond Trufant. You look at Justin Coleman. You look at Jeff Okudah, Darrell Roberts. For a while there, Mike Ford was hurt. And you had Harmon was down for a couple games. Curse was down for a couple games. I mean, you think about how our defense has been mashed around, switched up, next guy up. I mean, it's happened all year long. And I say we played pretty good for not having everybody fully healthy at every game.
Well, here's my backfire to you on that, Logan. You mentioned the defensive line. You mentioned the defensive back. What about the defense? What about the linebackers? Do you actually think that we have good, strong, quality linebackers in there?
I think we have two good, strong, quality linebackers, Jelani Tavai and Jamie Collins.
I like Jamie Collins, but I'm not set on Tavai. I don't think he's quick enough.
I like him.
We got to have more speed. We got to have linebackers that can cover tight end.
He can. It's only his second year. You got to remember he was a rookie last year. He's still young. Just needs the right coaching. Be good.
I guess I'm just looking at it as in you look at those defenses that are top of the line, elite defenses right now in the NFL. They're fast. They're fast defenses.
We had quickness before everybody got hurt. Jeff Okudah is one of the fastest guys on the field. So
and
Desmond Trufant.
Okudah was getting better. He was getting better until he got hurt. He was actually progressing and starting to play a lot better, and then he got injured. So another
Darryl
one.
Roberts plays fast. Darryl Roberts, Mike Ford, they play real fast. And our linebackers play really fast. I think Jared Davis has played really good the last couple games. He's kind of showing that quickness, the reason why we drafted him first round a couple years ago.
Well, I want to mention that just real quick. Davis, man, that guy, when he tackles somebody, he lays them out, man. He hits hard every single time, no matter what. He was just boom. I see what you're saying. I guess, just watching the other NFL games, it kind of gives me ideas of what's lacking. I try to think of what does this defense have that the Lions don't. And it seems like every time you look at a winning defense, they're just quicker. They got linebackers that are able to rush the quarterback a lot better than ours do. There's just things that I see that I'm like, when I'm picking in other games, I guess that's why I'm bringing it up. I just pick apart the other games and wonder what they have that the Lions don't. Because our offense can get it done.
Better coaches.
Yeah, we just need a better defensive coordinator.
We've struggled with defense coordinators ever since Gunther Cunningham left. That guy could coach a defense.
Yep.
I think Patricia's available right now.
You bring in Underlin, when he was with Patricia, but Patricia was probably still calling the majority of the defense anyway. You know what I mean? So they definitely got to switch that up. But I think if with the injury, Shelton in there makes a huge difference next to Pennicini. Yeah, I think that's 600 and some 700 pounds of just pure muscle in the middle of that defensive line. Like not easy to get through when those two are both on the field. And then you got when Griffin's on the field, there's your pass rush right there. And Okwara.
Well, let's just put it this way: with Danny Shelton and Pennicini on that defensive line, opposing team averaged under 100 yards a game against us.
Yep.
Without Danny Shelton in there, we're getting ran all over.
What's the news on Danny Shelton? Is he out for the season?
I know he got put on injured reserve, so that's at least 4 weeks. Well, I think if he comes back, it'll be the last game of the season, I believe.
Well, I'm going to run this by you too, Mike. Your thoughts, is it just the defensive coordinator? Do you think any other personnel in the defense needs to be thought about, or are you on the same board as far as Logan goes, and basically that coordinator needs to change?
Well, yeah, I think that Logan's got a good point there. Makes a lot of sense. I think that we do have some talented guys on the team there that they're capable. I'm not a big witness to their speed, like you've said that you've watched some other games and you seem like maybe we're lacking there. I've not caught that myself, but I do think that it starts with the defensive coordinator being replaced and getting somebody in there that is gonna make them step it up.
Yeah, get somebody in there that knows how to use the talent that we have already. Get somebody in there that knows how to use that talent.
They need to do overload blitzes. I don't know if you've seen the blitzes that Green Bay was throwing at us. They were overloading one side of the line. So then that way it was a mismatch. There'd be one or two guys that get through untouched every single time. It's scheming. It's doing this in practice. It's practicing it, making these guys learn snap counts, all that. It goes into it. I don't know. It's hard to sit here and say you want to keep Undlin when he finally took the advice of people in the media and started blitzing. And then all of a sudden, oh, we switched to zones and we started throwing some blitzes. Wow, it's working.
Yeah, he
Yep.
had to be the coach. The coach had to be coached by the media to know what to do.
I mean, it's common sense. If your front four is not getting the pressure on the quarterback, means you got to throw one or more guys at that quarterback to get the pressure that you need. Therefore,
Right,
you
so
put guys back in the zones.
To end this part of the discussion, this is what I want to ask. So, say they bring in Jim Harbaugh next year. When do the Lions start winning?
Right away.
I agree. That's what I thought you were going to say. I think with the right coach, we already have the talent. I mean, we seen it this weekend. How many plays was DeAndre Swift in for? Like 11 carries. Every one of those carries, he did amazing on. Like every one. So, getting him healthy 100%, all the weapons we already have with a coach that knows how to coach football, there you go. But I'm not going to jump to next year yet because this year's not over. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I know it's slim. I know it, but it's still there. Lions can win out, and the Cardinals, Minnesota, and Chicago all go 1-2 the rest of the way. The Lions are in the playoffs.
I love
That
the
is a very
optimism.
slim chance.
It's slim, but it's still there. That's why I'm mentioning it, because it's still there, even though it's slim.
I do have to say Minnesota's been playing like crap, and so is Arizona. So those two teams I see. Chicago, though, against Houston, kind of spanked them around like a redhead stepchild, if you may.
Yeah. Yep.
They had their way with Houston. Houston had no chance in that game.
Well, let's think about it this way. Who does Chicago have? Do we know the rest of the season who they're playing?
I could look it up real
I'll
quick.
pull it up real quick. Hold on 1 second here.
Let's take a look at it. Let's dive into it just for a minute. Let's see. I mean, this is a discussion right now because
Probably
they're
cupcake.
They're still in the hunt.
Let's see. So it's the Bears Vikings on the 20th. The Bears Jaguars on the 27th, and the Bears and the Green Bay on January 3rd.
So if Minnesota beats Chicago, Green Bay beats Chicago, and they win against Jacksonville, okay, that's possible.
Yeah. So that's.
But then we got to look at Minnesota's schedule. Who does Minnesota have left?
Hold on here.
Well, the Bears.
Right.
They'll have to win that game, though, for the Bears to lose to.
Right. So the Vikings have got the Bears, obviously. Then they've got the Saints and then the Lions.
Oh, yeah, easily losable games.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Beat the Bears, lose the Saints, lose the Vikings, or lose the Lions. All right, who does Arizona have left on their schedule?
Cardinals have this weekend coming up the Eagles, the 49ers, and then the Rams.
Now let me say before you talk, Logan, I know you got thoughts on this one, but let's not forget the Eagles running with Jalen Hurts right now look like a whole different football team out there this weekend. So we could see a different Eagles team playing this Cardinals team, which that could equal a loss.
Yeah, the Eagles look pretty good with Jalen Hurts. Just beat the Saints.
Yep.
Saints were on a streak there, and they got beat. My buddy Perry was a little upset about it. Feel bad for you, man. But
we had Philly.
We both lost.
Philly, and then who else?
The 49ers, and then the Rams.
I can see them losing 2 games out of those.
Yeah, I
Yep.
could see him losing 3 games out of those.
Yeah.
So,
Arizona hasn't
if
been
you
playing
look at
very
it-
good.
If you look at it schedule-wise, those 3
It's
teams,
possible.
it's possible. But the Lions got to win out.
Yeah.
How possible is that?
Well, we got Tampa Bay. Who else? Tampa Bay, Minnesota.
The Bears.
No, we play.
Yeah.
Well, don't we
Oh,
play
no.
Tennessee yet?
Yeah. This coming weekend, we got the Titans, then the Buccaneers, and then the Vikings.
Titans, Buccaneers, Vikings.
Yep.
Good luck against Derrick Henry. That's all I gotta say. Our run defense sucks.
So if we can stop Derrick Henry, we can beat the Titans.
Yeah.
The Bucks.
Well, the Titans have a lot of weapons on offense. Jonnu Smith. They got A.J. Brown. They got Corey Davis. And they have Derrick Henry. I mean, Tannehill can throw the ball too. So
Here's the way I look at it. We just gave the Packers. We stayed with them. I feel like let's put it this way. I feel like in that game we can be competitive enough to win it.
I say we win against Tampa and we win against Minnesota. I don't see us beating Houston or Tennessee. I just don't.
So if we lose another game, then the Lions are done.
Yeah, I don't see us winning all 3.
It's tough.
We
It's tough.
we allowed 120 yards rushing against Green Bay.
Yeah, but Aaron Jones is a beast.
He is.
But what do you think Derrick Henry's gonna do?
Well, what if
The
Shelton
leading
comes back?
rusher in the league. That
We
dude
might get-
stiff arms people in the next century.
We might have Sheldon and Griffin back that game.
I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Against
That's
the
this
Titans,
weekend,
the Titans this weekend. Yep, that's this weekend.
You think Sheldon's gonna be back by this weekend?
You think Griffin's going to be back this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Griffin's going to be back. I don't think
He
he's
tested
hurt.
positive for COVID. He's got to be out for 14 days.
Yeah. If he is back, he'll just be back, but I don't think he will be.
Did he? Yeah, he just has to have 5 consecutive negative tests. That's it.
I don't know.
5 negative
I
tests.
I think that every game there's a shot for us to win if we play good.
Yeah,
I'm not-
I agree. I agree. But Derrick Henry is another monster. He is out of this world. He's nothing like any running back we face. And we've gotten ran all over by these other mediocre running backs. So imagine what Derrick Henry's going to do.
Okay, so Derrick Henry runs through us. That just means our offense has to keep up until the end.
With Stafford banged up, I don't see it happening.
Stafford doesn't matter. Swift's going to be back. We got Swift all day long running that ball.
You got to love that Andy Souls optimism, don't you?
That's what my post on social media was about, because there's actually people out there saying that they were just banking on the Packers to win that game. Well, I wasn't. I still had hope. I still will have hope until I know for sure that it's done. When I see the Lions lose, when they lose again, if they lose again, then I know it's done. But I'm not going to give up hope until I know for sure.
You know, I'm just thinking about my buddy Bill Navarre. Sure would be fun to add him to this conversation someday. He'd have some good things to say without a doubt. Bill, I'm calling you out. We need you on the show, buddy.
Yeah, you can tell him even if he doesn't want to be on the show, he can pop in here, throw some comments in there. You know, this is an open platform discussion right now on the show. Anybody can jump in and throw your comments in and let us know what you're thinking on the topic too. You know, this has been I think this has been a great discussion. We got a lot of stuff out there in this episode, which I absolutely loved it. Of course, there's a lot of stuff going on. The 3 guys that you see, well, the 2 guys and the 1 logo that you see in this show right now, you never have to doubt our loyalty as far as the Lions go, for us at least. So when it comes down to the Lions and who they're playing, I'm going for the Lions every time, no matter what. And
Yep, there you go.
we
I
just
got
gotta
it in
hope
my
for the
blood.
best. I'm always hoping for the best. If there's a slim chance, I'm hanging on that slim chance until it's gone. That's how I'm gonna be till the rest of the season. So we got
Yeah,
3
I'm
games.
not trying to be a Debbie Downer either, but I mean, I'm just facing
No,
facts.
you're putting
Facts
in a
tell me that
realistic.
Derrick Henry is going to put up like 400 yards on us.
No, I see it. Derrick Henry's a monster. But if we can somehow shut him down, maybe we can give him COVID or something. then he'll be out.
And yes, everybody, I'm telling you, if you got Derrick Henry, start him this weekend, okay? Start him. Our defense can't stop him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I
Oh
think.
boy.
No, we will definitely. This is going to be a great pregame show this Thursday night. That's for sure. As we will. Oh, and I did think I heard a rumor. Not this weekend, obviously, but next weekend. I think the Lions are playing Saturday.
Yeah, they are playing Saturday at 1:00 against the Buccaneers.
Sweet. I don't have to wait so long to watch the Lions play.
Yep.
This weekend there's Saturday games too.
Is there? Yeah. Yeah, this weekend they're playing Sunday against the Titans, like we talked about. Yeah, Sunday.
They're
At
getting
1.
ready to do it for the playoffs.
Are the Lions playing next weekend? Are they playing on NFL Network?
Let me see here. It doesn't show me the TV schedule. Let me just switch.
If they
I
are,
hope it's
because
Fox.
I don't have NFL Network. I know this Saturday's games are both on NFL Network. If they put the Lions on NFL Network, I'm going to be mad because I can't watch them then.
Yeah, I'm still finding it here.
I might have to just FaceTime you. Let you watch off my TV.
Well, you got NFL Network?
Yeah, NFL Network on that Saturday against Tampa Bay. So it's on CBS this weekend, then the NFL Network, and then Fox.
Well, I don't know. I have Sunday ticket, so maybe I'll still be able to pick it up. I'm not sure how that works.
If you got a Sunday ticket, man, you got it.
You should have.
If you got a Sunday NFL ticket, you're good. It streams
Even
every single game every weekend. Yeah, every single game. So you're good.
Well, I should be all right then. Good. I almost had a heart attack. We just had to cancel the whole damn thing if I didn't watch the game.
I just want to, well, we got kind of a moment here. Just want to say, get out there, hit that subscribe button, click the like button. Thank you very much for everybody that listens to us, follows us on our Facebook page, We Are Lions Nation, follows us on Instagram, follows us on Twitter. And if you haven't followed us yet, get out there and do it. It's only going to take you a few seconds. You don't really necessarily have to follow us anywhere. Don't be standing behind my shoulder or anything, but appreciate it all. Thank you guys. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this. So
Yeah. Don't follow us on our shoulder. That's creepy.
or to the grocery store or something. Don't be like creeping me out like that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even get out of my car without the fan jumping on me. So it's getting ridiculous. Can't even get in
$5 autographs right here. Anytime.
$5, yeah.
Yeah, and we will be auctioning off a date to Applebee's with Mike coming up. So
All right.
One lucky fan is coming up. It's going to be spectacular. Mike will be wearing his We Are Lions Nation sweatshirt.
The female fans are going wild right now.
Yeah, they are. Well, guys, it's that time. It's time for our In the Zone player picks for this weekend's game. Logan, who was your In the Zone player?
TJ Hawkinson. Real easy decision. Only one that played throughout the whole game consistently and at a top level. So, TJ Hawkinson, you got my in the zone player this week.
All right, I like it. Mike, who you got?
I got to go with T.J. Hawkinson too. I mean, he was just the most consistent. He's the one who who always catches that ball, and I just didn't see that much action from anybody else out there that was consistently stepping up and pulling that ball down. So I'm going with T.J. Hawkinson as well. I do think that Marvin Jones was a catch though.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I will always agree with that statement that Marvin Jones caught that ball, just like Calvin Johnson caught that ball. I switched my in the zone player twice, and I'm switching it again. I am going with DeAndre Swift. I think when Swift played, when he was in the game, he played well like he has been. I think he averaged over 4 yards a carry or something around there, 4 or 5 yards a carry when he got the ball. So kudos to Swift. Welcome back, buddy. Hit me up on my cell if you want to talk about that game at all. But, because we're friends. And DeAndre Swift, my in the zone player.
Nice. Well, I just want to take a moment and thank the fans for watching. We love interacting with you. Please share, and subscribe on YouTube. It doesn't cost anything, and please leave comments and interact with us. We'd love to hear what you got, and please also follow us on the We Are Lions Nation Facebook page, Instagram page, and Twitter page. Thank you so much for everything that you do, and we'll keep bringing this great Lions content to you.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. We will. All right. Well, we're about to end the show. Before we do, Logan, I know you got something for us. You got some vocals. You got some vocals coming out.
Forward down the field, a charging team they will not yield, and when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. Rah, 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 go hard, win the game. With honor you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions! One pride.
Woo! Couldn't have said it better myself.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And we will be sending Logan on The Voice to perform that song next season on The Voice. Blake Stoutland is going to love it. I know it.
Yeah, that's the only song I'm going to sing the whole time.
Every time.
I really like how you changed it up and made it your own.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. On that note, let's raise it up. Get that final toast. Here's to a hopefully good rest of the year run for the Lions. Here's to good things to come in the future. And here's to family and friends and loved ones for happiness and a great holiday season coming up. Let's go, Lions. One pride.
Playoff
One
bound.
pride.
For myself, Logan Erickson, Mikey B, this has been We Are Lions Nation podcast live. Thank you all for joining. We will see you live Thursday night, 9 p.m. for the pregame show. Hope to see you there. Good night, everybody.
Good night.